Hi, guys, and welcome back to the next episode of the Simucube Podcast. Today, I am joined by a very special guest, Tero, CTO and co-founder. Tero, welcome.
Thank you.
So for a lot of people, they may not know who you are. So would you like to introduce yourself and what you do at Simucube these days?
Yeah. So my name is Tero Kontkanen, and I'm co-founder of this Granite Devices and Simucube. And I have been in this career since 2007.
Before we get into all the stories and decisions that have been made along the way, I'd like to run all the way back to your childhood. So what were you like as a child? Were you a creative child? What sort of things interest you? Tell me about like your youth.
I would say that I have been born with natural curiosity towards how things work, especially machines and technology. My father was also like engineer-minded and innovator, and I naturally was attracted to the devices machine. So I wanted to figure out how they work, how to make those. I want to create those, make them better. All kind of technology fascinated me, from like space rockets, cars, planes, computers.
What sort of things did you tinker with? All of those things, did you? I just can imagine you just sort of taking a toaster apart and rebuilding it. What sort of things did you get up to?
Yeah, I think it began already when I was 2 years old. I was given screwdriver as a gift. So my parents tell me that I was already disassembling things when I got it. So I just disassembled my things to figure out how they work, how they were built. I remember a story that I got a camera as a gift, but it was immediately being taken apart to figure out how it works. And I built many things, from the woodworks and metalworks. We had a workshop at home. My father had a one-man business there. So we had a lathe and machining tools, welding machines, woodworking machines, pretty much quite nice environment for
You could do
tinkering.
anything, really.
Yeah.
Whatever you came to mind.
Yeah, and also we had a computer, which was not so common in 90s and 80s. So we had a computer, so I can play with that and figure out how it works. And I was very interested of understanding computers also.
Yeah. And I guess this kind of led into your studies. What did you study?
Yeah, it's naturally my interest in technology and science. I was leaning towards physics and also like geometry was my main interest in mathematics. I like to draw things. I was very visual person, and still I am. I like think visually, and computer science also was very interesting. And when I got in university, I was studying electronics because like embedded devices were very interesting to me. I want to build things that like actually are active. It's not just like a passive piece of metal that I want to make. I want to have like programmable devices. And that's actually part of the Granite Devices story.
What sort of things did you build then, those early days?
In my hobby career, one of the biggest and most interesting projects were CNC machine.
Okay.
So I built my own CNC machine, and in that project, I needed those motor drivers. CNC machine has these servo motors that will control the mechanical axis of the machine tool, but I didn't have the motor controllers for that. So I went studying and figured out how to make those motor controllers. And I figured out that I can do it. So I tried to create one motor controller, and it worked. Then I posted a video to internet forum where similar CNC builders were building their own machines. And I got immediately responses that, okay, can you sell me that one? We have the same issue. We don't have drivers.
How old were you at that time?
I was like 20.
Okay.
I was studying in the university first years, and I was starting to build my own motor controller for this CNC machine. 1 or 2 years after that, with my partner, a friend from university, we decided to start a company called Granite Devices to make this product commercial.
And you have a few things with you today, like this Ioni. This was one of the first, I guess, products.
Yes, it's not the first ones. It's actually 4th generation.
And what is that exactly?
Yeah, this is a motor controller for servo and stepping motors. So this tiny board has a microcontroller that can be programmed and a power electronics that can drive the motor. So basically, this is what is needed between computer and the motor that can control CNC machine or whatever robotics device you want to build. And no surprise, it can be also used to make force feedback devices because servo motor is very capable of producing fast and precise torque use.
Well, let's get to the sim wheelbases later. But what was Granite Devices doing those early years? What sort of products were they producing? And what was the industries? Tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, the original idea of Granite Devices was to create motor controllers that were suitable for CNC machines and robotics, like industrial automation. Because I think industrial automation was something that was very fascinating to me. I loved the accuracy and speed of those, and also the reliability, how well the things are made. When you are working in factory automation, you don't want any downtime.
Yeah.
And I was fascinated to create things that are really durable and also high performance and also simple. I think one of the key elements in my designs is that they must be simple. The drivers at that time were mostly big and clumsy. So I tried to kind of figure out how to make it smaller and eliminate unnecessary parts.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was able to take advantage of the most advanced components, which make it possible to create this size of motor controller. The older motor drivers were like box full of components, and they were expensive and complex to use.
Yeah. So what was Granite Devices like back? When was it founded? It was you and your partner at the time, 2 of you. And when was that?
Yeah, it was 2007.
2007.
Yeah.
So was it just 2 of you working on these boards and different things, or how did the company grow? When was, I guess, the first employee hired? Tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah. When we founded 2007, it was like two-man company for many years. We were part-time studying, part-time working on the other companies and working from home. We didn't have any offices. But in 2015, we hired first persons. And that also the time when we created this product and also first Simucube products.
Right. So it was 8 years before you had the first employee.
Yeah. And since then, it's been growing quite rapidly. And now we have like 60 persons.
Yeah. All right. Well, tell us the story of Simucube's birth. How did that come about?
Until 2015, we were still only serving and thinking about the industrial customers or commercial customers and CNC builders and stuff like that. And then we got a visitor from Australia who wanted to see us. And he told us that there's do-it-yourself people on the internet who are building direct drive wheels and using our products as part of that. There was a project called OpenSim Wheel. And the OpenSim Wheel build was kind of standardized, and they were using our motor controllers there. And this influencer or visitor that we got kind of gave feedback and gave ideas what we could do to make their life easier, the sim racer life easier. Yeah. And of course, I love the challenge. I always love the challenge. Okay, I can do something better than it's already there. And this Ioni motor controller was under development at that time. And this was supposed to be very small, very low power motor driver for small motors. But after this visit, we figured out, okay, how powerful we can make this. Let's make it as powerful as possible to be able to drive bigger motors for these direct drive applications. And that was the first step towards sim racing and Simucube. All right, then we kind of succeeded making this powerful enough for sim racing, and we launched it also for the sim racers. We created the first Simucube 1 board. It's kind of motherboard for this. You can plug it in the PCB and plug this in there, and we have a Simucube 1. And that's how Simucube basically started.
Interesting. How many people were there involved at that stage when you made Simucube 1?
It was only like 4 people, 5 people.
And what were you doing specifically? Like, what were each people doing? Like, maybe starting with you, what was your role?
My role was I was like a team leader. There's just one small team, and also I was the developer of these drivers, the electronics and the firmware in there. And then there was another guy who was developing the Simucube PCB, actually Simucube 1 PCB, electronics designer. And then there was one person handling the manufacturing side of the things, and one person handling the customer requests and support. That's so basically.
Yeah.
And then there was one guy also developing the Simucube software.
And what happened from there? So you made Simucube 1, then what?
Yeah, Simucube 1 was the first product for sim racers. Then we figured out, or just see that there was quite surprisingly many buyers. So we decided, okay, how we can make it even better. We were thinking that, all right, let's see Simucube 1. It's kind of third-party motor, bunch of wires. You need to buy these parts separately, put them in the box, and buy the power supply, then install the software and do many things to get driving. How can we reduce the work of the customer? All right, let's put them all in one package. Just take a motor, put the electronics inside, then just have a USB connector there and have a quick release for the wheel and stuff like that. And that's how Simucube 2 was created.
So I'm imagining the core kind of values you spoke about with Granite Devices just naturally fell into also the Simucube way of doing things, like the robustness, taking care of the customers, many different things. So that's still, I think, the same today.
Yes, my passion towards this robustness and quality, it has always been very deep inside me. Whatever I do, I want to do it as well as possible. And another aspect of this company is that I want to serve people like myself, like hobbyists, those who are individual and very passionate about their things they do. As a company, we always wanted to serve the customer no matter who they are. Whether it's individual, do-it-yourself builder or corporation, we just give full attention to them and just answer everything. I got many support requests, and I just answered everything.
Yeah.
And many of those were people I don't even understand what they are building, and actually many of those were like sim racers. I didn't then realize what they are doing. I just basically answered everybody.
Yeah.
And that's how we work today also. There will be good customer care because we believe it's gonna be helping us. We will get valuable feedback and also quite nice community spirit.
Yeah. I want to go back a little bit to maybe your own personal development. So you've gone from this sort of solo hacker to entrepreneur and now co-founder of a successful business. That takes a lot of personal growth as well. So tell us a little bit about how you've grown over the years and who you are today compared to who you were 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, I see that I have to change myself quite a lot during these years. Before first employees were hired, I was just like nerd working at home alone late nights, basically.
As you do.
Yeah, but when the people came in, I realized that I need to practice something. I need to learn much more about human beings, how they work and collaborate. And actually, I read lots of books about like social behavior and marketing and leadership and stuff like that. And core message from the books were that you gotta be compassionate towards the people. You want give them very much freedoms and let them be creative and just support them creating the stuff they want to create. That's quite big thing I had to try. I wasn't sure if that's gonna be working in like company culture setting, but I was willing to take the risk and see what happens when I just gave employees great benefits like freedom to work any hours they want and be away when they want, basically. I just give them responsibility. All right, this is your responsibility and I will trust you to do it. And another aspect is that we should be human to each other. We should not have this power distance. All right, I'm your boss and you will just do what I tell. Instead, we have a open communication. And if we disagree, we just communicate until we agree. And this compassionate culture, I think it radiates outside of the company. It kind of radiates to the customer service and also the product themselves. We give products our love and the customers will receive that love that we put in there. The customers and community will love us back. I think it's kind of reflecting there and kind of in balance and working for everybody's advantage.
I think what you were saying about having a human-to-human approach and this little hierarchy still holds true very much today. And is that something you're proud of?
Yeah, I see it's kind of very deep in our company culture and I'm proud of that. And one sign of that is that we have very, very low rate of resigns, basically zero.
What's important to you these days, and what's your work-life meaning? What is the meaning?
I think what is most important for me nowadays is this taking care of this so-called Simucube family. It includes our company, the people we have here, and also the whole Simucube community. And I think it's more like the human side. I still care about the technology. I'm very interested of this and I love to tinker with technology. But I think more important is kind of this culture. I want to cultivate good culture and keep it safe and guard it with my intentions. I want to help people to kind of be kind to each other and let them thrive, basically.
You're a founder. I'm likely the main shareholder. What's your vision for the future of Simucube?
Yes, I'm still major shareholder and my will is basically what I said just a moment ago. I want to kind of help people to be creative and passionate about their work. And one core idea is that I want this company to be part of people's lives. It's not like a free time and work time. It's kind of same. When you are working here, it's kind of part of your life that you want to live. And I want to support company to develop in that direction so that it's a good place to come. It's not like, all right, it's Monday again, I have to go work. Oh shit. It's like Monday, yes, I'm gonna meet my colleagues.
And what are some of the ways that we encourage this? Like we have summer retreats, we have this happy huppu. Talk on some of those things and how important they are for you.
We have many special employee benefits, such as paid break. You can take half-hour break in any time of the day. Just go walk also outside or in the gym or whatever to get you refreshed, and that's paid. And another thing is maybe summer retreats. We have every summer like 2 or 3 days retreat in remote location that we have rented, and everybody goes there and we have a good time together. We play games and go sauna and swimming and stuff like that. And maybe most importantly is the way we work in here company as a company together. We just take everybody as equal, and if we have a conflict, we want to kind of have a good solution to that. It's not like, all right, I'm the boss and you will just do as I say. Instead, we just discuss and figure out how we went in the different roads and how we can meet again and continue.
Yeah. You once said anybody in the company can have an idea, and that idea can change the future of Simucube. Tell us more about that.
Yeah. I believe this is part of the creativity or creation process. Everybody here is able to just create the idea and just spread that idea. Just come in the coffee table and spread your idea, and everybody is kind of thinking, all right, that's actually interesting idea. Maybe. And after maybe 1 year, that idea has been grown in the heads of the people, and maybe it kind of creates our next big thing.
Well, that maybe leads on to the next question or the next topic, because I want to get back to the technology a little bit, and I want to talk about ActivePedal. So how did that start? And I think you were one of the first people, or was it your idea to create an ActivePedal? Was it a coffee table discussion? Like, how did this idea come?
I think it's not our idea originally, at least completely. I think some customers were actually talking about make force feedback pedal. I don't know what they meant, but in my head, it was like what it is now. And how it came to be is that we had a industrial customer who needed a motor control solution for touchscreen testing for mobile devices. And it had a motor and load cell sensor, and it had to produce certain force when they pressed the touchscreen with the motor. And that's basically the same technology that we use in ActivePedal. So based on this know-how and the idea of force feedback pedal, we just combine the two, and you get the rest quite easily.
It can't have been that simple, Tero. I understand it, but what were the biggest challenges with this? Like, you have to make the pedal feel like a spring almost, like very difficult. So what were some of the bigger challenges along the way?
Yeah, it was more challenging than I figured out. Originally, it was long nights of development and trial and error to get the algorithms right. Maybe the biggest single challenge is to make it stable. It's very easy to get oscillating or vibrating behavior with this servo motor and load cell, and especially when you are pressing with your feet, because the feet is not like easy load. It's kind of depends how hard you press and how heavy is your feet and stuff like that. It will affect the control system of the pedal, and that's quite challenging to get it right and stable.
Yeah. Then on the contrary, were there any memorable moments or successes you were like, aha, this is now the way to do this? Were there any standout moments for you?
Yeah, there are lots of those, but maybe the most memorable big thing is the team spirit that we had. We had like team of 10 people working on ActivePedal, and the team flow, it was insane. There was so great team flow, like everybody is working on same vision, basically without any kind of ruling or control. Everybody just work together so fluently. It's kind of amazing to witness that kind of project, and that's where the magic happens. Most of the magic happens in the team. It's not like there's one hero or one big solution. Teamwork, team effort.
Yeah. And this ActivePedal was quite a breakthrough for sim racing. But I want to ask you, what do you think is the majority level of sim racing technology these days?
I see there's still huge potential, especially how they are set up, or how do you get on track and how to get them right. I think the performance-wise, they are now quite good. The direct drive wheels are great, pedals are great, computers are great, but the main issue remains, it's kind of complex.
Yeah.
You have to kind of know lots of things, how to set up and how to configure and how to change the settings to make it feel right. And that's actually one topic we are working on. We have this so-called one-click to race vision, and that means we want to make it easier for racers to get on track and with great settings. So there would be no need to kind of configure every parameter and just have this steep learning curve to get everything running smoothly.
Yeah.
So basically we want to kind of have greater integration between the sim game and the hardware, bring them together and make them collaborate nicely.
So talking about the one-click race vision, I think Simucube Link is going to play an important role in that. So tell us a bit more about Simucube Link and what the intentions are there.
The history of Simucube Link is basically getting rid of USB issues. As we know, USB has not been designed for high power devices like motors and also the devices that are target of static electricity that are generated in our clothes or socks or whatever, and in big installations like rig. And also when you have so many USB devices, it's kind of alone gonna be challenging for the USB. So we were looking for ways to solve that. And basically what we came up with is that we are using Ethernet to connect things together, because Ethernet works in very, very large scale installations, including internet. So there should be never issues of static electricity or high power devices or size of the system. So Simucube Link basically uses different protocol to communicate. And then we have just one USB plug to the computer. And that's gonna be much more robust than having 10 USB devices that are distributed within the rig. And another thing is that Simucube Link provides is easier way to communicate with software. So, for example, when we have a software that is collecting telemetry data from the game, like generating the ActivePedal effects, it's gonna be sent to the Simucube Link, and all the devices on the Link network will receive the data in real time. So those are really basically the core ideas.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see where the one-click race goes. But it's been very interesting to talk to you today, Tero. Do you have any regards to the community and our customers out there?
Yeah. First, I would like to thank everybody being on this journey. It's been great experience for everybody involved. I think the whole Simucube family. It's been a pleasure to kind of create something that is meaningful for so many people, and also the community spirit is very nice. I love to hang out there sometimes just to feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to hear feedback and also opinions and ideas from our sim racers, because many great ideas came there, including the force feedback pedal. Just let us know if you have more crazy ideas that you think sim racing needs.
Well, there was many great stories, but I think there's a lot more as well. So I think definitely we need to have a part 2 if you're willing to come back on.
Yeah, definitely.
All
Looking
right.
forward to that.
Well, thank you very much, Tero. And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.